We just celebrated our first anniversary. At the end of 6 months, we had brought you a video with little glimpses of all the interviews done by me with some remarkable women who featured as Wonder Woman on our platform. Some of them came from corporate life and spoke about that. Others talked about their second innings, and yet some spoke about how they found their calling and their passion and had started work on their own or had become entrepreneurs. In the last 6 months, we experimented and explored, and we decided to present to you the Wonder Woman in various ways. One was a dynamic duo where we caught professionals who were mother-daughters and their relationship, sisters who were professionals and their relationship, business partners, friends, etc. And then we spoke about some varied themes in our roundtable dialogues. We had masterclasses ongoing and we had VIP support where experts in digital marketing, legal, media spoke to you. We also had health advice and we also brought you something on finance and wealth management. We also had a tribute to Lataji, and we spoke to a couple of our NRIs who live overseas as part of our expat living program. I think it's difficult to put all of this in a short video, but we have tried to give you a flavor of the last 6 months. We hope to have your continued encouragement and support as we go along. See you on the other side.
When you have goal setting in mind, the important thing is to make baby steps. So make a goal something that's very easy and that is more likely that you're more likely to do and follow through. And it's also the small wins that we have, whatever success that we have, it need not be great. Even the small ones, we need to pat on our back ourselves. Give us that, okay, I'm good, I'm worth it. The formula is look at the past. Take some time off, look at your past and learn from the mistakes. And whatever works, take it with you. What doesn't work, just try and be curious and examine why it didn't work.
First and foremost, notice if am I allowing myself to take that time and am I letting myself know that it's okay, I can take out this 20 minutes and step out for a walk in the middle of my day. You know, it's okay if I just listen to my favorite song and dance it out at the end of a stressful day. That next task can wait, for another 10 minutes. The world is not going to end. So I think when it comes to self-care, it definitely can help as a response to burnout. Definitely it can help as a prevention to burnout. But I think we do need to start building that mindset of allowing ourselves. So I think learning to delegate tasks and asking for support if something feels difficult is really an important mindset to adapt and to know that you don't have to do everything alone, that there is support. The second thing I would say is to let go of perfection. That relentless need to be perfect just takes up so much energy and it really affects our mental health. So sometimes we just need to kind of surrender to this idea that we cannot control everything, right? And I think the third and last mindset change, which is sort of related to this, I would say, is watching how you talk to yourself. I think if we were to pay attention to how we talk to ourselves, we would really hear a lot of shouting and, labeling and just to sort of take a moment and see, or is this how I would talk to someone that I care about? So I think watching how you talk to yourself and shifting towards a kinder approach is so important.
So they say if you plant a pear tree and you water it and make sure it gets enough sunlight, one day you can expect to get pears from that tree, but you will not get apples. So what you sow will literally bring you a certain kind of fruit. There is no judgment in this law. I think a lot of people lose their way because they think there is some God-like figure standing or sitting in judgment on everything they do. No one is sitting there meting out reward or punishment. It is just that you take a certain action, it has a certain consequence.
And with a demanding career as a gynecologist, what is your mantra for raising successful kids? Because both your children are doing fabulously well. And this is a question I'm sure everybody asks you. So we would like to know about it.
I seriously feel when you ragado them, literally the word has to be ragado. And if you ragado and let them push them to their wall, back to the walls, they, as an instinct for survival, the basic instinct for survival, they come back and fight. And when they fight, they get that energy. They get that energy to learn, to do better. And you are basically there just to give them the ground framework. And if the ground framework is good, wherever they go, whatever they do, they do.
What kind of relationship do you have with each other? Would you say it's formal, friendly, chilled, totally crazy, sometimes reversed? How would you describe it?
I think like any relationship, my relationship with my mother has gone through phases. But one thing that's remained constant is her unconditional love and support. But if I need to define it, what we shared as of today is very crazy. It's a roller coaster.
What is your success mantra? What would you like to share with our VIP members?
I'm not sure whether it is success or not, but definitely to strive and to survive in the corporate world, it is very important that you need to love your work. And I think for all the women, it is very necessary. Don't undermine the strength of the family. You know, the family has been a very great support for me in covering this journey of 23 years. So family, love your work, live life with passion, and enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Sonali, tell me, what is your success mantra?
I think it's just hard work, because all my life, being a doctor has only taught me that hard work gets you there. And also I would, especially to women, who are around, who might be your seniors, I would, like to say that we should all work as a team. We should not try and bring each other up rather than trying and pulling the other person down, because that creates a very unhealthy environment. And another thing that I feel that I should be practicing more is to take work as it is. Like work is not the end of your life. And for an organization, you're an employee, but for your family, you are everything.
What message would you want to give to the women who are keen to start up something on their own and become entrepreneurs? Both of you can answer.
I would say that believe in yourself, take those risks. I mean, don't overthink, don't think that you can't do it. You need to believe in yourself, go full-fledged and go and fulfill your dreams. Live your life queen size. That's my advice to all the entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs.
Lovely. What about you, Reena?
Yeah, similar to what Aditi has said, but also, follow your heart. And, I think one thing is important, that I think you should build your business success around things that you love, things that you find interesting and you like doing. And very right, don't overthink. I think that's something which I do. I have no idea how I did this without overthinking too much, but yes, it happens. So just go for it. And one more thing I'd like to add, Mandeep, and this is what I've picked up from, I think, one of your posts last week, is scared is what you're feeling and brave is what you're doing. I think that's something which is going to stay with me. So I think one just needs to jump into it if you want to do something.
What do you want to tell them about long-lasting friendships? Sangeeta?
Friends are like diamonds, bright and beautiful, and they make us valuable too.
To have the best friends is to be one yourself. Secondly is that never ever let ego or growth in your life impact your friendship. And hold your best friends strongly and never let go of them, because they are the ones who heard you when you didn't even speak, because best friends can always hear your silence, talk to them.
So success for me actually is balance. So my spiritual, social, personal and professional, if I'm able to balance these four sides like a tabletop, I consider myself successful. Beautiful. Now, the mantra to achieve that, again, I think I'm a seeker and a risk taker. So a combination of being a lifelong learner with the right amount of, you call it risk taking, you call it keeping your inner voice on, but there's something that you have to have which helps you take the leap of faith. These two put together, you'll always be a rolling stone. If you're a rolling stone, it's always successful.
Lovely. What has been the relevance of music, or is the relevance of music in your lives? Priya?
For me, music is a stress buster. As we matured, it became more of sadhana and spiritual contentment.
Oh, Sajna, बरखा बहार आई, रस की फुहार लाई, अखियों में प्यार लाई, ओ सजना,
लग जा गले कि फिर हंसी रात हो न हो, शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात हो न हो, लग जा गले से.
Eventually, things will fall in place. That is what I feel. So you keep working towards your goal. So even if you cannot see the end goal, you get started, because you take that first step. Taking action is very important. And another thing is keep learning. That is the biggest thing I should say I have learned being in this industry. You have to keep learning. The learning never stops. So the thing is, it is a recommendation system that is working behind the scene. So you type for a particular word or you search for a particular video, right? So it understands your taste. And based on that, next time when it comes to it is basically simple things, because all these videos or content which is put up there back in the backend database would have keywords, right, for what category it is. So based on that, they would be recommending the other things when the user comes next. So that is how this recommendation system works. So it works across all social media platforms.
That's very interesting. So the algorithm is basically based on recommendations of what your previous history and your previous data set.
Yes.
That's really good, because I'm going to throw this question out to both our content and social media ladies. So I'm going to start with Ritika. If you weren't at the mercy of this algorithm, how do you think you would utilize any social media platform?
So my first brief to a client when they look at digital marketing is that don't expect anything to come to you from day one, as in returns. Wait a while. There is an inside joke we have amongst ourselves, amongst the team, is that when we go looking, okay, not as clients, but as clients looking for, let us say, the best bakery in town, right? So let us say the best bakery in Chandigarh, if I'm typing that, I will go to page 3. I won't go to page 1 and 2 of Google, which is exactly something which is, I love the reaction on your face. It's like, why would you want to go to page 3 and why not page 1 and 2? Because those are the guys that have spent the maximum amount of money on SEO and AdWords and probably understanding how the algorithm works. That necessarily does not mean that they are the best bakers in town.
Sonia, now I'm going to ask you about, during and post the pandemic, the wellness industry has obviously been flourishing globally and definitely in India. But this race to improve immunity became like an obsession for a lot of people. And suddenly people were following all alternative healing things, Ayurveda, yoga, neuropathy, naturopathy. But it also expanded to a lot of nutrition, fitness, preventive healthcare, and people wanted to do pranayam, and health tourism and healthcare issues started really coming in the forefront. What has been your experience?
People started pouring in, they started coming in asking for that, Sonia, please help us with the pranayam thing, how to take care of the health, how to take care of the immunity. So India being a wish guru of, herbal things and teaching yoga to the people, people started understanding the importance of breath work. For me, this is the Ramban, wherein if people are taking care of their breath, their lungs are going to be healthy and, in a good condition. So when everybody said the oxygen is not there and the people are dying because of lack of oxygen, I think it is not the lack of oxygen, but it is the lack of our ability to, take that oxygen from the universe, which is there. So yes, I also felt the need to contribute in the society. I started offering my free pranayam classes, yoga classes, meditation classes to my society, my family, my friends. And yes, people have now understood that how important it is to take care of the health.
Namrata, how easy or difficult was it for you to move to a virtual mode as a life coach?
So while the entire world was forced to move virtual, developing trust, choosing the right form of technology, enabling interaction in a virtual world where only the face and the body and a certain part of the body is visible was a very big challenge. Providing the same amount of service, and that service has to be so beneficial to the client, was what was the biggest challenge. Creating that trust, all of those interactions, structuring those sessions, maintaining consistency was the challenge during the pandemic.
I wanted to ask you, how was it for you to move to a virtual mode for your students and parents?
It really matters people to know how children with special need are dealt with in normal scenario. So online sessions have been actually were there, but then moving on with the same things, for CWSN was a little difficult thing for all of us, because definitely we need to have that touch, collaboration, physical, tactile stimulation when we work with these children. So initially we simply had I had to contact and be in touch with my children, so they don't, since they have memory recall issues, very typical. So then we have to work on those abilities vis-a-vis disabilities, which I was aware about them.
And did these parents have smartphones? Tell me about that.
Definitely.
Okay.
That was something initially we were simply having those phone calls, maybe early morning phone calls, and family therapy comes handy, because home-based system was something which was handy to me, which I already had in place. Then,
what is your one advice to women to make their lives uncomplicated? Amrita.
So I think we should learn to say no when we can't manage certain things, rather than messing it up and creating more expectations.
All right, perfect. Hema?
Never say no to your dreams. Always look out for help. Help is around, and keep moving on. You will make it.
Hey, Pooja?
I think women accepting themselves as they are, and as Amrita also said, that say no whenever it is not going to happen.
Perfect. Shifali, the final word.
Say no to what is not right for you, and say yes whenever even it is difficult.
This is my question to all of you, that is women yourselves. Do you think something more can be done? And do you have an example in hand?
We have to be conscious of two things. One is creating safe spaces for women, so that they can, without any inhibition, come and communicate and express their feelings. Two is being aware that as we get women, more and more women into the workforce, how do we manage the leaking bucket?
I personally feel the inclusion of openness, trust, being valued, fairness, all that becomes very, very important.
As women, we also have to learn how to professionally put our point forward, rather than saying things like, I have a family back home, I have to take care of them. I have a young kid at home, I have to take care of him or her.
I think the seniors in an organization need to create a career intentionality amongst women. A lot of women end up, dropping out after a certain level because that career intentionality is not really built into them.
I think we need to try and choose our battles, not try and aim for perfection in everything. I think the women need to accept that it's absolutely fine if others in the house are doing things like whatever it might be, cooking, even cleaning around, or anything of that.
Nothing grows in comfort. Comfort, I think, is the death of a lot of things, because you get tied to that paycheck, the comfort, and you stop growing. And don't underestimate your abilities. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your own abilities. Own your shortcomings. Own and grow with it. Accept yourself. I think we're always trying to go towards perfection, and that gives a lot of birth to a lot of insecurity. So be confident. Don't be too hard on yourself.
I think first step was to kind of understand and accept myself, and also give myself opportunities to make mistakes and kind of learn and grow from them. And that way model what kind of behaviors I want my kids to see, and I want my peers and family and friends to be seeing. I think that was one of my key drivers. And like I said before, communication, setting standards up front, keeping those boundaries, and constantly learning and growing. Learn something that has absolutely no bearing on your professional life. Learn something fun. And I think that keeps you going. And that's my secret to success and mantra.
The website actually becomes your sort of motherboard where everything seems to come and get together, right? So it becomes your mothership. So you may send out stuff here or there on different platforms, but everything ultimately comes back to your website.
We just need to be a little more curious and nosy when it comes to these things. And it is never late to start investing. Take hold of your investments. It can be a very small amount, 500 or 1,000 to begin with, but just start it. So you're at least in the skin, in the game, and you know where it is going. You will take your own decisions, right or wrong. Keep a threshold that this is what I lose and I'm okay with losing this much. But at least learn. That would be the first step, I would say, which is very important for women.
Success mantra, have a high say-do ratio. Take challenges and complete those challenges. There will be deterrents, but fall down, get up, start working. Never say die. Never say have a killing spirit and have a fire in the belly always. Let there be passion and let there be a lot of energy, both physically and mentally. And I think that for me, that's been the mantra. Passion, drive, the need to make an impact and learn in the process.
Happiness, I define as a state of mental and emotional contentment, which is there in spite of all the challenges that surround us. It is an enlightenment which helps us believe that everything in life is trivial compared to our happiness.
What does feminism mean to you?
Very simply, to me, it means gender equality. I believe in the equality of all human beings, at least that we are created equal, and then we mess it up sometimes ourselves. Even more than advocacy, to me, it's that aspiration that we should all be equal, we should all be treated with human dignity.
It basically means breaking the bias, gender equality, equality into everything, right? Equality of opportunity, equality of gender pay parity.
While it strives for the equality of sexes, I believe it's not about the superiority of women. It's not about tearing men down, it's just about lifting women up. Feminism requires me to take a step and express my views, and also stand in solidarity with others who are taking measures to reduce this imbalance.
One thing which I very strongly feel about is that when women are given an opportunity, saying that you are being given this opportunity because you are a woman, that is something which I really hate, and I don't want it to be there. So for me, equal opportunity without making the person feel that we are giving you this opportunity because we want to uplift you. The equal opportunity should be on the basis of your caliber, your capabilities. Having faith in women and having faith in their capabilities, that they will be able to do the same job equally well as men. I think that is more important. That is feminism for me.
Feminism has nothing to do with gender. It's not anti-men, and it's not only for women or girls. Feminism is also for men, right? It's a belief that women and men have the equal rights, equal opportunities.
And I'd like to just quote one of the American feminists, Marie Scheer, who said, a little tongue-in-cheek, feminism is the radical notion that women are people.
Work essentials, well, I'm a little biased about this. I feel, having lived in different countries, I like that people understand understated colors much more. At work, brighter and big patterned clothes are actually not preferred much. We usually wear, if you're wearing tops, it's nice to wear white, light blues, pastels, grays, if it goes for you or if it works for you. And for trousers, you would wear navy blue or black or beige. anything which goes with it. It always helps to have, if you're wearing westerns, to have at least one straight skirt and some trousers, and always smart casuals. And you may have for summers, if it is a formal event, you may want to wear a linen jacket. Otherwise, you may have for winters, obviously, blazers and jackets as they go along. They're always formal salwar kameezes, but they cannot have a lot of silver and gold and gota, because that becomes not so appropriate for office, but it has to be great fabric, which is smart and formal.
How, when you read without any filters, without any sense of direction, you can imbibe and you come across ideas which you don't know about, realities that are hidden, but you come across it in this most natural manner, and it opens your mind. It gives you a good vocabulary. It gives you a command over language. It teaches you about other people's stories, or it gives you other people's stories, and it helps you understand that you're really not alone in any way, or you're unique and yet you're individual, and unique and yet there's this shared human experience that you have, and this humanity that you're part of.
My vision for WIP is as follows. 1, I'm aiming to create a psychological, safe and judgment-free platform for women to voice their opinion, their stories and ideas. And 2, I want to help enrich our perspective regarding managing self at work and at home, managing relationships and navigating life whilst aiming for some peace and fulfillment.
I hope you enjoyed the videos that you just saw. We are excited about the coming year and looking forward to presenting more stories to you. Until then, bye-bye.